No! God, please, no! 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 No!
And will always love you. Will always love you.
And just like that, it's all over. What's up, guys? Schmitty here. Welcome back to another video. And it's official, the Blackout beta is now over for Black Ops 4, which means all of the betas are done for Black Ops 4, and the next time we'll be seeing this game is at launch on October 12th, which is 25 days from now. A little over 3 weeks, about 3.5 to be exact, which in reality isn't too long away. Obviously, it's much closer than what it would normally be, but I can't help but feel this kind of emptiness now that Black Ops 4 is gone, and I have to go back to kind of finding something else to play here for the next few weeks. But anyway, you guys have some Blackout gameplay down below. It's some duos that I'm playing with my buddy Orton. We do end up taking the victory in this game. It's a great game. We combined for quite a few kills. Very fun, as was this entire beta, which is what I want to talk about today. The entire Blackout beta. Give you guys my honest thoughts, my honest review of the Blackout beta, the Call of Duty's Battle Royale this year. How good is it really? How is it going to stack up against other BRs? Now, in this video, I'm going to try and keep it to overall thoughts about things. I'm not really going to get into critiquing. That's going to be in another video. I'm going to talk about stuff that I want to see changed and improved for the final version of Blackout. But today's just going to be overall thoughts, good and bad, here and there, nothing too specific. Now, I've already talked about it in an earlier video, but to answer the simple question, is Blackout good? Yes, it is very good. Black Ops 4's Blackout, I think, took the entire world by surprise. I don't think anybody expected Call of Duty to put out something this good, this well polished, especially for a BR when Call of Duty's always done, 6v6 up to 12 players, or at most in Ground War 9v9 up to 18. That's what we've normally seen from Call of Duty. That's the most we've seen on one map. The closest thing we've even seen to this, as far as a number of players all in one space, is Headquarters from World War II, and as we all know, that caused about a month of issues for World War II as far as connection, getting all those people in the headquarters, and it was only, I think, 50 to 55, so like, how the hell is Call of Duty going to do a Battle Royale and try to live up to that standard of somewhere near 100 players, at least hitting, the 70, 80 range, but they came out straight out of the gate, they hit 80 players right at the very launch of the beta, and straight from the launch to throughout the entire part, for the most part. Now, keep in mind, it is a beta. If you guys had crashes, if you guys had some lag or frame drop issues, I mean, those were kind of expected. I don't think anybody expected to go through this beta without any crashes, any game failures, getting frame drops, and some maybe more excessive lag than what you'd be used to. But this thing overexceeded a lot of people's expectations for how well it was polished and how well it flowed, especially straight out of the gate. I mean, first match I hopped in, you guys saw my first matches. I mean, just super well polished. Everything worked. And for the things that didn't work, the things that they were able to fix throughout this weekend of the beta, they did. And I think that's another big part to take away is, like, not only did they come out of the gate with the thing being strong and polished, the things that they were able to fix throughout the week of the beta, they worked on those things. They put out updates as soon as possible. I mean, if there was an issue, typically by the next day, it was fixed. Now, obviously, there still is stuff that needs to be fixed. There's still critiquing to be done in this game for sure. It's not perfect, and I'll be saving a lot of that stuff for a later video. But overall, it was very solid. Now, we started with 80 players to start out the beta. The very next day, they bumped it up to 88 players. We didn't have 80 for more than a day on PlayStation 4. We had 80. The very next day, they bumped it up to 88 players. And that's what it sat at for the rest of the beta up until today. So I'm recording this just after the beta has ended. Today, here on Monday, it was supposed to end at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Pacific. They extended it an extra couple hours and implemented 100 players on the BR, which is kind of lame. I mean, I'm glad they were able to put in 100 players and test that a little bit, but only for a couple hours. And I mean, for those people that already were, not planning on being able to play it all today anyway, an extra 2 hours wasn't going to give them much extra unless you were just already around with nothing else to do. I only got a couple games into that, and it worked just fine. I had no issues with 100 players, or any of the player count increases, as a matter of fact. It didn't increase my lag, it didn't increase the frame drops. Obviously, it put more players on the map, which I think was fine. I had no issue with how many players were on throughout any of it. I think the 100 players is hopefully what they're going to have for launch, and I think that's a good number to have. Not that it's like, if you don't have 100, it doesn't work. I mean, I played on 88 for the majority of this beta, and it was just fine, no issues. It did get a little slow at times, so I mean, once I get more playtime with 100 players, I'm interested to see how much that helps, or if it just makes it too chaotic. From what I played, it didn't feel too chaotic, but I was playing solos where people are a little more scattered, squads and duos and stuff. I didn't really get to test that out for 100, but 100 seemed to work good. And I mean, to start at 80 and to bump it up to 100, and the performance didn't really see any drops from those changes in player count. They can probably even go higher than this. Now, I wouldn't do it yet. If you guys have seen the map, I think one of the things that I had talked about with my friends a little bit is maybe there's not quite enough points of interest. Now, there's a good amount. There's definitely not like a super lack, but there could be more. And I think if you guys look at the map for Blackout, there's a good amount of open space here, and I guarantee you that's done on purpose. I know for a fact they're going to be bringing more spots to this Blackout map. This is not the Blackout map that we're going to see for the next year, 2 years. They're going to update this thing. They're going to change this thing. Whether they bring an entirely new map in general, I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll take the PUBG method and just add another map and another map on top of that. Or maybe they'll just do the Fortnite method to where they just take the map, they change it, they add stuff, they take away stuff, maybe if it's just not that popular or just because they want to or whatever. I mean, they could do a lot of things, but I definitely don't think that this is going to be the map that we see, you know, probably 6 months from now. And from what I'm hearing from leaks, this isn't even the map we're going to be seeing at launch. Apparently, they're going to be adding 2 points of interest from what I know, at least 2, maybe more than that. Right now I'm hearing Cracked and another zombies place who I totally forgot. But anyway, I'm expecting 2 more points of interest at least. I think that's very fair to expect, which I think will make it good, just because it kind of seemed like most spots that I would go to, there would always be at least another 1 or 2 people if I was playing solos. And if I was playing duos or squads, there would at least be another team, most times 2, at the same spot. So I don't really know, and most of the time we would land a pretty good part away from the bus route, or oh my god, the bus route, the helicopter route. Oh god, I just triggered a bunch of people in the comments. So I don't know, maybe we just constantly got into spots where people wanted to try out a bunch of different places. I don't really know. It wasn't crazy chaotic like landing tilted, or if we were to drop firing range, I'm sure we would have ran into a lot of people. But I don't know, maybe we just haven't found our niche spot yet for us to consistently land. No matter all of that, I think overall, getting back to it, that the Blackout beta was a massive success, and it took a lot of people by surprise, especially a lot of people that went over to Fortnite, either whether they went away from Call of Duty or they went away from another game to try and, you know, join in on the Battle Royale craze. I don't mean that in a bad way by like jumping on a bandwagon or anything. I'm just saying that. But this surprised a lot of people, and a lot of people were excited for this. It's just so funny. If you would have looked at the response and everything and the hype for, you know, not just Black Ops 4 in general, but even the Battle Royale mode, even a few months ago, people were, you know, not happy. They were pissed. They thought this was a total cash grab and that they were just going to implement this purely to try and draw more fans in, and that the Battle Royale just was not going to work and it was going to be a total flop. And it ended up being a very massive success, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this thing plays out throughout the rest of the year, alongside what looks to be another fantastic multiplayer from Call of Duty and from Treyarch, because I really enjoyed that too. Like we're gonna have, or I'm gonna have at least like 2 massive modes that I'm gonna be heavily invested in. Zombies, I mean, if you enjoy zombies, that's there as well, so you could have up to 3 massive modes there for you to play. I'm not a big zombies guy, so I don't know how much I'll delve into that, but I mean, multiplayer as expansive and how much they're going to bring to that throughout the year as it is, and on top of that, a Blackout Battle Royale mode that's going to do the exact same thing. Holy crap, I'm going to be heavily invested into Black Ops 4 this year from the sounds of it. But I mean, the way the map was set up, I thought was great. They took a ton of inspirations from old multiplayer maps, old zombies maps, and put them in there. They didn't just splash them in like an exact copy of each map and just, you know, jumble them all together. Like, they all made sense, and there was plenty of new space and like forest jungly type space. It's just enough filler space to make it feel like it all worked together and made a Battle Royale map, not just a bunch of MP maps combined together and zombies maps. It all meshed and worked together well. I mean, it's easy to see they put a lot of time into designing this map. All the vehicles were very fun, very easy to use. All the guns were very viable. I like how they did gold guns in a sense of where you can find a gun that has 6 attachments already loaded on it. I thought that was amazing. The perks and everything did well. I didn't feel like there were any of them that were too crazy or overpowered. Obviously, the big thing that a lot of people want to talk about is the armor. Again, I'm going to get into the critiquing and stuff on that in a later video. I think I have maybe some potential fixes for it, but Treyarch definitely, I'm sure, has their ideas of their own, and there will be changes coming to Armor. A couple of the developers from Treyarch had already said that they're looking into it. There's going to be more changes to it at launch, so I'm not too worried about it. My biggest thing was it just kind of made for some inconsistencies. I don't mind Armor being in there, or even level 3 being in there. It just was, I don't know that it was perfectly balanced right or tuned right as compared to whether you had a lesser version of Armor or no Armor at all. But I had a ton of fun playing this mode, definitely more in like duos and squads and stuff. BR's always been a thing for me that I've enjoyed more with friends and with a team. I did play quite a bit of solo, especially on PS4, because I don't have anybody on PS4 necessarily to play with, so I did a lot of solos on that, and it was still a lot of fun, but I definitely enjoyed being able to play with my friends more, combining up and making a duo or a team. That's where Battle Royale becomes very, very fun to me. Is working together, getting loot all sorted out for everybody, just working together to fight to the end and be the last team standing. I think it's just one of my favorite parts about Battle Royale. But, I mean, as I've kept saying, Treyarch, you've shocked a lot of people out there. You have done an extremely good job at making a BR game. This is going to be something that, you know, if the support and stuff keeps up, it's going to be a very top competitor in the Battle Royale scene. I don't know that it's going to necessarily kill any game. If anything, maybe PUBG it'll take quite a bit of the player base from. I don't really see it taking down Fortnite or anything like a lot of people want to see, but I definitely see it thriving with Fortnite, being a strong competitor alongside Fortnite. I definitely see them being two big games, and that's a great thing. I would honestly rather have Fortnite and Blackout be equally as popular, because that's going to make them both fight to get better. If one of them just totally washes away the other, then it's not going to make either game better. When there's two strong competitors like that, it's going to make the games better, which is good for both sides. So I'll tell you guys, man, I had so much fun playing the Blackout beta this past week. I did quite a few live streams. If you guys tuned into those, again, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun doing those, and I'm definitely looking forward to do more of that stuff when Black Ops 4 launches. From here on out, man, I think what Treyarch had to do right out of the gate was do exactly what they did. You know, have their game ready to go, have a successful first initial impression on everybody. Now the thing left that they have to do is that they have to continue to support this game just like Fortnite does, consistently putting out updates and new content. I don't know that they have to necessarily overload with content, kind of like I feel like Fortnite sometimes puts in just too much, but obviously Call of Duty has a massive lore of things to go back to, old guns to bring back into the game, old maps that they can bring back into the game and mesh in as a new point of interest. They have a lot of stuff to go back to and bring in that would excite a lot of fans at any time. So as long as they keep up with the updates and you know, getting them out as fast as they have, which seeing from the multiplayer beta and the Blackout beta, that looks like that they're very much ready to do that. I mean, to do that in a beta, we saw LTMs in the beta. I think we saw 3 of them. Close quarters we saw fast collapse, and I think there was like a combo of close quarters and fast collapse. I believe those were the only ones we saw, and they're not too crazy creative, but they're LTMs nonetheless, which is something that they didn't have to put in. Nobody expected them to put in. I don't think anybody expected even the updates that they were bringing to this beta. Treyarch was very well prepared for this. And rest assured that this is only going to be a tease of what we're going to see throughout the coming months in the next year and beyond with Black Ops 4's Blackout. I'm ecstatic. I am very fired up to see this game in 3.5 weeks and how it's changed. And to the people that say in 3.5 weeks the game's not going to be much different or not change, maybe not on the surface, but there's going to be a lot of tuning, a lot of different updates to things. Obviously the game's not going to look night and day different, but I mean, this whole past week for the beta was very important in improving the game for launch and further out as we get Blackout updated consistently throughout the year. My biggest thing is I just want to see updated optimization. Obviously, there were quite a few frame drops in this, which, again, I expected. Some frame drops, some lag, that kind of stuff. And I think it's more so on the older consoles, which is what I own. I'm hoping they can get a lot of that stuff better optimized, especially for those older consoles. I'm not even speaking necessarily in graphics. I didn't think the graphics were that bad. I felt like there was a lot of harping on the graphics for some odd reason. Obviously, they're not God tier, but they can't really be with a Battle Royale, and I still think graphically that this is one of the best looking Battle Royale games as far as graphics go. But I'm talking as far as performance. You know, I felt like there were too many frame drops in gunfights or just even moving around. Obviously, would like to see looting. Looting, I think, got sped up a good amount throughout the beta. Obviously to the point to where they don't want to make it tap, but we'll see how they do all that stuff. Again, that'll be coming in changes and critiques when I do that video later on. But bottom line, if Treyarch keeps on this track of, consistently updating Blackout and keeping it supported, I mean, they've already got a great foundation, a great base. And if they continue this stuff up, maybe if they make it purchasable as its own standalone thing, or maybe even free, which I highly doubt, but, maybe, who knows? But if they make it standalone one way or another, that's only going to help the popularity of it as well. But Treyarch, I mean, hats off. You guys did a fantastic job with this. You stunned the entire world with how well you made a Battle Royale. I'm excited to see this thing go further. I'm excited to see the tuning and the changes and stuff at launch. And this more and more looks like a great year for Call of Duty with Black Ops 4. But that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today with Black Ops 4. Obviously, I'm going to be talking more about changes and critiques and stuff that I want to see in a later video. But I just wanted to focus on the overall perspective and how I see it. For me, it's just mainly optimization type stuff. Obviously, it wasn't totally optimized, which I didn't expect for a beta. If they can just get that knocked out for the launch of the game, then I'll be totally happy. The base game is great. Obviously, changes and stuff have to be made and more optimization, like I keep saying. But there's not a whole ton of negatives or a whole ton of, like, it's 50-50 type thing. I mean, it's mainly positive, my thoughts for Blackout, and I see a lot of the same thing from a lot of other people. So, Treyarch, 2 thumbs up. Keep up the updates throughout the year. Continue the optimization and tuning and get this thing ready for launch. And you guys have a great year ahead of you for a very successful game of Black Ops 4. But anyway, you guys have heard my thoughts about Blackout. I want to know where yours down below. What do you think? Again, try to focus on overall perspective here. Critiques and stuff I will save for another video, and you guys can leave some of your critiques down in the comments of that video when that comes out. But overall perspective, do you like it? Maybe leave a couple things you like, couple things you don't like right away from the beta. Overall, leave your thoughts down below in the comments about Blackout. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash that like button down below. If you guys are new to the channel and looking for more review content, you guys in the right place, hit the subscribe button down below as well. And turn us notifications so you guys know those videos go live. Hopefully you guys all have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.
Sit rep. Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety. All objectives complete. Stand down.